Habermas' The Logic of the Social Sciences is a crucial work that delves into the epistemological, methodological, and philosophical foundations of the social sciences. His approach is interdisciplinary, engaging with key thinkers across fields, and critiquing various schools of thought, from positivism to hermeneutics. Through this work, Habermas explores the possibility of integrating these perspectives into a more comprehensive understanding of human society. At the heart of Habermas' analysis is the fundamental tension in the social sciences between the positivist and interpretive traditions. Positivism, which has dominated much of the natural sciences, seeks to apply empirical, objective methods to understanding social phenomena. Positivist social scientists argue that social reality can be measured and quantified, just like physical objects. This school of thought privileges explanation and causality, focusing on the ability to predict human behavior based on observable data. However, Habermas critiques this positivist stance by emphasizing that human beings are not merely objects of study, but also subjects with consciousness, language, and intentionality. This, he argues, makes human behavior qualitatively different from natural phenomena. For him, the interpretive approach, which stresses understanding over explanation, offers a more appropriate model for the social sciences. In contrast to positivism, interpretive social science focuses on the meaning of human actions, seeking to understand the reasons and intentions behind behavior, rather than simply predicting it. Hermeneutics, a key component of the interpretive tradition, plays a significant role in Habermas' argument. He draws on the work of thinkers like Wilhelm Dilthey and Hans-Georg Gadamer to highlight the centrality of understanding in the human sciences. Hermeneutics is concerned with interpreting human actions, texts, and social practices, considering the context in which they are embedded. For Habermas, the social scientist is not an external observer, as in the natural sciences, but a participant in a shared social world. Through hermeneutics, Habermas emphasizes the importance of dialogical interaction in the process of understanding. Human beings engage with one another through language, which serves not only as a medium of communication, but also as a way to construct meaning. Understanding social phenomena, therefore, requires engaging with the perspectives of the subjects involved and interpreting the underlying meanings that guide their actions. This is distinct from the positivist approach, which sees the social scientist as detached and objective. One of Habermas' most significant contributions to the social sciences is his development of critical theory, which goes beyond both positivism and hermeneutics. By incorporating a critical emancipatory dimension in the logic of the social sciences, he builds on the work of the Frankfurt School, particularly the ideas of Max Horkheimer and Theodor Adorno. Habermas argues that social inquiry should not only aim to describe or interpret social reality, but also to critique and transform it. Critical theory introduces the concept of the emancipatory interest in knowledge, which reflects human beings' capacity for self-reflection and autonomy. Habermas asserts that individuals and societies have the ability to reflect on their own conditions, and through this reflection, to uncover sources of domination and oppression. The goal of social science from a critical perspective, is not merely to understand or explain the world, but to foster emancipation from social constraints. This emancipatory interest stands in contrast to the technical and practical interests that guide positivist and interpretive approaches. The technical interest seeks control and manipulation of the environment, while the practical interest aims at understanding social norms and values. The emancipatory interest, on the other hand, focuses on revealing the hidden power structures and ideological forces that shape human life. For Habermas, social science must be grounded in a commitment to human freedom and autonomy, challenging the status quo when necessary. In the logic of the social sciences, Habermas also addresses the complex relationship between theory and practice in the social sciences. He is critical of theories that remain purely abstract or detached from real-world concerns. In his view, social science should be relevant to the practical concerns of human beings, addressing issues of justice, power, and freedom. He critiques the positivist model for failing to account for the normative dimensions of social life, as it reduces human action to observable behavior, without considering the values and goals that underlie it. Habermas contends that a truly comprehensive social science must integrate both explanation and understanding, objectivity and subjectivity. It must engage with empirical data, but also remain attuned to the meanings that human beings attach to their actions. Furthermore, it must go beyond interpretation to critique the social structures that limit human freedom. In this way, theory becomes a tool for practice, guiding efforts to transform society in more just and equitable directions. One of the defining features of Habermas' approach is his advocacy for methodological pluralism in the social sciences. He rejects the idea that any one approach, whether positivist, interpretive, or critical, is sufficient on its own. Instead, he calls for an integration of methodologies that reflect the complexity of social reality. For Habermas, the social sciences should not be divided into rigid categories, but should draw on the strengths of multiple disciplines and perspectives. This methodological pluralism extends to Habermas' critique of both reductionism and relativism. He argues against reductionist approaches that seek to explain all social phenomena in terms of a single factor, such as economic structures or biological instinct. At the same time, he rejects extreme relativism, which denies the possibility of objective knowledge. Instead, Habermas advocates for a middle ground that acknowledges the diversity of human experience while still aiming for rational understanding and critique. His theory of communicative action, which he develops further in his later works, plays a crucial role in this integration. Communicative action refers to the process by which individuals come to mutual understanding through dialogue and consensus. Habermas believes that this model of communication can serve as a foundation for a more rational, democratic society. In the social sciences, communicative action provides a way to bridge the gap between objective explanation and subjective understanding, as well as between theory and practice. Finally, Habermas is keenly aware of the limitations of the social sciences. He acknowledges that human society is dynamic and complex, making it difficult to capture through any one theory or method. However, he remains optimistic about the potential of the social sciences to contribute to human emancipation by combining the best elements of positivism, hermeneutics, and critical theory. Habermas believes that the social sciences can offer insights into both the structures of power and the possibilities for human freedom.